should I intro the show?
Dude, do whatever. Express yourself, man.
All right.
No, you know what? How are you? How you
I'm
doing?
good. Yeah, I guess we didn't like
Yeah.
act like people. We're like we got to start. We're not friends anymore.
We're
This
not
is a
people. This is for entertainment
project.
now.
I'm good. I'm doing good.
That's good. All right, let's get into it.
How are you?
Fine. I just watched a 3.5 hour movie. You loved every second of it. Let's go.
All right. 2, 3, 4.
These boys only want the best stuff. They want the cream of the crop. They don't want none of that Michael Bay shit. They want the shit that pops. Oscar bait, black and white. Maybe something French. If it's got more than one explosion, honey, put that shit on the bench. Oscar Wieners, Oscar Wieners, Oscar Wieners. These boys are the Oscar Wieners.
Yum, yum.
Oscar Wieners.
Welcome to Oscar Wieners. Fuck.
No, it's all right, dude.
All right.
Take your
'Cause
time, man.
I actually wrote down. I was like, how the hell am I going to intro this shit?
Go ahead, read it. Express yourself, man.
All right.
From the heart.
Welcome to Oscar Wieners, the only show on the internet where Hollywood's biggest night is 24/7.
Oh my God. Tears in my eyes already.
I am one of your hosts, Michael O'Brien.
And I'm Joe Rogan.
Oh, fuck.
It
You know
could be
what?
him.
Let's not bury the lead. What's your
the show
actual
about?
name?
Yeah.
What's
It's my.
your
I'm Joe Rogan, but you can call me Ander.
yeah.
Yeah.
And you can call me Daddy.
Oh.
Um, This is Oscar Wieners. It's a weekly podcast where each week
Nice.
we are going to talk about a Best Picture winner.
Do it.
Just a random Best Picture winner. We're not going any kind of order because that's boring.
No order.
And there's
Fuck it.
yeah.
Do we curse on this show?
No.
Oh.
Dude, I'm trying to get a PBS deal out of this.
PBS, huh?
PBS Kids.
You're trying to get that Big Bird money.
I'm trying to get that Sesame Street slot.
The Sesame Street slot. It's a show.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but it has a time slot.
I'm trying to get that sesame seed. You know what I'm saying?
Ew.
Oh, don't clip
So
that.
every week we're going to talk about a new Best Picture winner and figure out if it deserved to win Best Picture. Most likely it probably didn't. And we're going to get into it. That's not
Now-
actually true, but that's kind of my feeling. I feel like.
Well, can I ask you a question?
No. So this week we're going to. No, I'm kidding. What's up?
How many movies you seen? You seen every movie?
That's
How
ever
many?
been made?
Guesstimate.
How many movies have I seen?
How many movies?
I've seen at least 12 movies.
Okay, that's pretty good. That's way more than I've seen.
All
I've
right,
seen.
that's
I've seen like I've seen 6. No, I've seen 7 movies.
which ones?
I've seen Rocky 1 through 5,
Okay.
Rocky Balboa, and Along Came Polly.
Was this the Along Came Polly year? Oh my God. We're talking about the Along Came Polly year. We should have been talking about Along Came Polly.
Along Came Polly was nominated, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It had
was
to
not-
have been.
Well, it won Best Picture. We're not talking about it though.
Oh, why are we talking about this swill?
We're just talking about Best Picture winner every week, and it's going to
Okay.
be really fine. At
And we're-
least it's going to
yes.
be at least fine.
It's gonna be fine at the minimum.
I'm not promising it's going to be your favorite podcast. But
Can't
it's going to
do
be
it.
something that you listen to sometimes.
Just cause.
Just because you're
Yeah.
like, oh, I ran out of all the ones that I like. Here's another
Right.
one.
Right. That's good. We can kill time. That's fine. We can fill it. You know,
I mean, it's all content, right?
you're sweeping, you're vacuuming, throw it on.
Yeah, for sure.
So we're starting with so logically we're starting with the first Best Picture winner, right?
No, So we're going randomly. So we're every week we're gonna whatever tickles our fancy,
Oh,
if
love
I
it.
can call it that.
You can.
And this week we've decided to talk about the third film in the Lord of the Rings trilogy, which is called Lord of the Rings: The Return of the King.
Right.
Was the 2004 Best Picture winner. Two, came out in 2003, but it's the 2004 Oscars. Um, and
So this is the third. This is the third movie in the franchise.
the third movie in the franchise.
So they let a
Um,
trequel go all the way to the top.
yeah, so I actually looked this up today. It's only two sequels have ever won Best Picture. It's this one and then
Ooh, can I
Godfather
guess?
Part Two.
Oh,
Yeah,
I was
go
gonna
guess
Rocky
guess.
too.
This is I don't know which movie. Peter Jackson. He is a New Zealand
He's
filmmaker.
New Zealandan.
He's a New Zealandan,
Yeah.
and he started out kind of making kind of nasty, sort of horror-y, kind of genre-y sort of movies, kind of Sam
Yeah.
Raimi stuff, like Evil Deadish.
Gross.
There's a movie called Bad Taste. There's a movie called Meet the Feebles, which is like kind of like
Meet the Fockers.
no, Meet the Feebles is like if the Muppets were nasty little boys. I'm not kidding.
That.
It's like puppets like cursing and I don't know. I think I haven't seen it.
I've only seen
Anyway,
7 movies.
eventually he made these goddamn Lord of the Rings movies.
Good for
He
him.
shot them all in one
In
go
one
over the
day.
course
Oh.
of like I don't know. I think it was like 14 months. It took like over a year to film.
14 months he shot
Yes.
all those movies.
Yeah.
The runtime is longer than that.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
bananas.
there's a line in the movie where like towards the end where they're like it took us 13 months our journey and I was like that's literally how long it took to make these goddamn movies. But my experience with these movies is I watched when I was like 16.
Tell me.
This was actually my favorite. I remember and watching them because I watched all three of them again. We watched the theatrical. I watched the theatrical versions. You also watched the theatrical version of this movie. I have some experience with Lord of the Rings. Obviously, you probably do since you're hosting a show where we're going to talk about it. So, what's your what's your experience
That's
with
the
Lord of the
thing.
Rings?
I, on
Yeah,
first glance, when you proposed this idea, by the way, very excited to be doing this. I know nothing about movies. I want to see the best that these are obviously the 95 best movies. I think we could both agree on that.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, of course. I haven't seen Lord of the Rings. Haven't seen the first two. Didn't realize this was the third. Found out real quick about maybe 15 minutes in.
It took you that long?
Well, it took me just a little bit of a second, okay, to catch on. Okay, is that all right? I feel like I didn't need the context. I think the context would have been overbearing. I think I would have been bogged down by it.
Okay.
It was long. It was long.
Yeah, it's a little too long.
Lord of the Rings, more like halfway through, I was bored of the thing. I look at my watch and there's 2 hours left. Paid $4 for this. It's borderline theft. But seriously, it was pretty good though. It was actually pretty good.
What? All right, so walk me through your experience, because like,
So I turn it on, and at first glance, I'm like, "This is Brokeback Mountain, for sure.
a lot of
For sure,
mountains.
this is Brokeback Mountain."
Because of Smeagol and Deagle, they're kind of.
Is that his name?
I think so.
Perfect.
The movie starts.
Yeah, I took copious notes on this. By the copious.
Okay, you got the. I am the Lord of the Ring.
That's him.
Great. So we have to post this. There's too many visual things in this episode. We have to post it on YouTube.
Yeah, it'll be wherever.
But let me ask you some questions.
Ask me.
What are some characters that you liked in this movie? Like,
My
having never
favorite.
met them before.
I've never met any of these characters.
What do you think?
Who is the really, really terrible fake king? What's his name?
Oh, that guy
He
sucks.
just stuffs himself with
it's
cherry
not
tomatoes and
Yeah,
he's
he's
just
popping those things in his mouth.
yeah, he's the
They're
worst.
like what I imagine the direction for that scene was okay, eat the nastiest anyone has ever eaten. Because he's like shoving like loose meat into his fucking
Yeah,
mouth.
it was disgusting, and I just wanted him to die so badly. And then he's just um sent his son to die, and I was like, that's not cool.
Yeah.
His son was like, Dad, what should I do about, this army and shit? And he was like, I hate that your brother's dead. I wish you were dead instead. I'm gonna eat these cherry tomatoes like a fucking mule. How about that?
And he's like, "Hey, Dad, that didn't answer my question. What do you
Didn't
want
answer his
me to
question.
do?"
And then he,
Then he almost,
well,
try,
he
and he
almost
tries to burn him alive.
tries to burn him alive. And then Perry is like, that dude's alive. And he's like, I'm gonna burn him anyway and burn myself. So how about that? And then
Yeah.
he just doesn't appear in the film ever again. That's the last you see of him. He fake burns himself alive, fails, and then he's just gone.
The son.
No, the terrible
Well,
dad.
he dives off the top of the citadel of
When?
Minas Tirith.
When
The
is
top
that?
of the citadel at Minas Tirith. You don't remember that? He like fucking swan
He
dives off the
falls
top. Yeah,
on purpose.
he catches on fire. I can't believe you would have loved this.
I'm
He
furiously
runs.
checking my notes.
He catches on fire. He runs out of the doors, runs to the end of like the lookout part of the top of the citadel, and then he just dives off and is dead, and he's covered in flames.
Good, I guess.
It's hard to sum up the plot for the sequel to two other movies, but let me just try for a second because I'm wondering if people would be lost.
Okay.
So basically, there's these
people
rings of
people
power.
people mean me.
Not even. It's just like
I mean, I'm gonna
there's
learn something. Go ahead.
there are these rings of power. That's the name of
Plural.
the. Yeah, I think I'm
Okay.
gonna butcher some of this. Basically, forget about the other rings. Then there's
Perfect.
this ultimate ring, the ring to rule them all, that's created by Sauron.
Need it.
He's the giant eye in the sky.
Question.
Hit me.
What is Sauron? Is he's the eye?
He is.
Is he anything else? He's just an eye.
Like, yeah, that's a great question. No fucking idea.
Like, why do people? Who's his army? Why do all these people fight for him? Like, who cares about him? Why is he a powerful dude? He has no ring. He wants the ring,
Those
right?
are great points. Those are great points. There's a ring. Sauron makes it,
Mhm.
or whatever. He loses it. This king, who is Aragorn, Viggo Mortensen's character, he is
Hot.
he is smoking. He is
Smoke
the
show.
heir. Aragorn's ancestor gets the
Okay.
ring in a battle like 1,000 years ago or whatever.
Yeah.
He's about to throw in a Mount Doom, but then he keeps it. It corrupts him. He eventually loses it. The ring goes missing for a while. In the opening scene of this movie, that's when it's found again after like hundreds of years. Sauron is trying to get the ring back, and these fuckers are trying to get it to the mountain.
These
And
fuckers.
Sauron is raising forces, the orcs, who are like these mindless kind of drones.
So let me get. So if can I quiz you?
Yeah, go for it, man.
So there's a huge army of orcs and general ne'er-do-wells, correct?
Yeah,
They're allied with Sauron, correct?
yeah, Sriracha, yeah.
I don't know why.
Is Sauron a feminist?
Who?
Sauron?
How?
He wanted to destroy men. He said the age of men is done. That sounds kind of feminist to me.
Wow.
That's pretty good ideas. I'm just saying.
It's always what you least expect. I didn't know he had it in him.
I would storm
Actually,
the Citadel for Sauron.
you orc. You're a complete orc for that.
I think this is like kind of a problem with the characterization
Oh,
specifically of
get 'em.
orcs is
Get 'em.
like, and there are actually like Tolkien scholars who have talked about the portrayal of orcs who are like these described, I think, in the books as like dark-skinned creatures, and everybody's white.
It's fucked
And they're
up.
battling these dark-skinned creatures who are like mindless and just following like orders. And there's like everyone's white. on the good side, and these orcs are the
Yeah.
only like dark skinned people.
I noticed that these were the only Uggos, and I thought that was a little.
Yeah. Otherwise, everyone's really pretty.
Yeah.
Even Gandalf can fucking get it.
Dude, Gandalf can get it
Oh
for
my God.
sure. Yeah.
Smoking hot.
Yeah. My favorite scene in this movie, by the way, is when he's like, he says to Perry, he's like, Peregrine took it back to the Citadel.
That's actually a really good impression.
Thank you. And then I did play him. And then Perry is like, I couldn't understand what he was saying at all. I still don't know. I needed subtitles for this movie. But he was like, and I really just don't know what he's like. Do you know what he said? Do you remember that scene?
Is it when you're calling him Peregrine and you're calling him Perry? His name is Peregrine. People call him Pippin.
My bad. His name is Pippin. Pippin is my favorite character who I definitely know the name of.
The Tolkien stands are going to come for us.
Gotcha.
I forget what he says.
Yeah,
Basically, he says you're actually a real one, and remind me to dap you up later.
Yo, we're totally gonna. If I do my editing right, and if we don't get sued, I'm gonna pull a clip and I'm gonna bring the audio in.
Peregrine Took! Go back to the Citadel!
They called us out to fight.
Get back to the Citadel!
That's a great impression, man.
Thank you. What about this? They called us out to fight.
They called us out to fight.
That's what he said. That's like not even exaggerating.
That's also good though.
Thanks. Yeah. Thank you.
They called us out to fight.
I like that shirt, by the way.
Thank you. I got a haircut.
It looks good.
Thanks. Could have said a little earlier.
Yeah, I didn't notice.
If anyone's listening, hopefully my new haircut energy is radiating through the airwaves right now.
But the orc thing, watching this, I was like, I miss movies. Avatar actually does this a little bit, like The Way of Water in the first movie too. But like, I miss huge blockbuster movies where there's like the who is good and who is evil is very clear, and like the evil person isn't like Thanos, who's like, oh, actually he has some good ideas. Like I
Nobody
like
thought that.
I miss just like good versus evil. I feel like it's not the lines aren't that drawn are not drawn that like clearly these days. And I'm not saying that's a problem. Nuanced storytelling is cool. It's ultimately better. But like every once in a while, I love a story that's just like, here are the good guys, here are the bad guys, and they're gonna fight.
Yeah. And they fight.
They do be fighting.
They do be fighting. There were some nice fight scenes.
If I told you that Orlando Bloom scales a big elephant, kills it, and then slides off the trunk, would you believe me?
I would probably draw the line at elephants. I would be like, why are there elephants in this movie? I was confused when they came out. I was confused when eagles came out.
Yeah.
I thought they were all just gonna be like random things. I don't know.
What do you mean?
I don't know. Like, I thought there's gonna be some new species and shit. I thought there's gonna be like freaking salamanders with like 2 heads. Or like, I don't know, 3-headed dog, you know what I mean? Like real new, something new, you know what I mean? Instead, I got tall elephant. I've seen it. Seen it in real life.
Seen it? You've seen an elephant this big before?
Oh, I've seen it. Yeah, seen it. I thought that's the best. Okay. I did think there were many parts in this movie where I was like, this is like 2004's Avatar. But I thought the characters were way more compelling. But they have all the scenery. I don't know how they did some of this stuff. It's just New Zealand, right?
Yeah, I think a lot of it was shot in New Zealand. I think maybe most of it. Not sure. I think
go there.
Yeah. This movie, like watching it again, like I do think this movie is kind of the blueprint for how to make like a modern blockbuster huge movie. Because like you said this is 2004's Avatar. It is. Avatar feels exactly like this, where it's like this culmination of a huge battle.
Yeah.
Um, and like the Marvel movies, like Avengers, like they all end in like a huge battle, and like it just that sounds simple, but it there's like a feeling to these final battles that feels lifted from Lord of the Rings.
What does the ring do? What's the power of the ring? Like, what is that? Like, I get it's the most powerful thing and it like corrupts people, but like, what's its actual power?
These are great questions. Like
How do but
you're
you don't have
asking
the answer?
genuinely
You
great
saw
questions. It's
six
like
hours of movie.
it is really it's a great question. It's like what does the ring why is the ring powerful? And it's like it is. It just is. I don't know what you want me to tell you. And then it's like why do the orcs follow Sauron? It's like, oh, because I guess they're kind of mindless, but otherwise just because they have to.
Is that the power that you can control armies or something? Is it like mind control?
I didn't get that indication, but maybe.
Hmm.
I don't know. It's just magic, baby.
Anything I didn't understand, I just moved past, like the flowing river. But that I was like, what does this do? Why is Frodo the guy? Why isn't Sam the guy?
Yeah, Frodo. I wrote down in my notes. I was like, who is Frodo beyond the mission he is tasked with? Across all three movies, he's just like constantly abused and like and just like stabbed and like it's crazy. Um, and I'm like, but why?
Why
For
must he
what?
endure? Well, at the end, I feel like you see it at the end. At the end, he's like, he can't stay at the Shire because he's like, I have to see the world. And, Gandalf is like, come with me, son, and we're gonna go see the fancy things and we're gonna do all that stuff. I don't know. He hangs out with that old man. I feel like
That's
that was
Bilbo.
his
That's
character.
that's his uncle.
Right. Of course.
I just found them very uh upsetting, sad. I'm like,
Sad.
Frodo went through all this, and he's like, I literally can't be in this world anymore.
Yeah, that was a bummer.
But
They're all chilling.
Sam's like having sex on the reg, which is kind of fucking sick.
Good for him. I mean, he was a real G throughout this whole movie. Like, let's be honest.
You are kind of my Sam.
Wow.
You
God.
don't have to cry.
No, it's not.
I just feel like I'm like,
Say it one more time.
what?
I want to hear it again.
You're kind of my Sam?
Yeah. Yeah. You're kind of
Don't.
you're kind of my Bilbo Baggins. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm
You're a
kind
little
of an
bit of a
uncle to
Bilbo.
you.
You're tangentially related to me at best, I think.
Um, no, I'm kind of an emo little shit, and you're like, come on, it's think of the Shire, it's fine.
Yeah.
What do you mean you
Always
can't be here? It's fine. Everything's like just like have like some strawberries with cream, dude. Just chill
have
out.
them. Mm, have those strawberries with cream. Always chilling at the Shire. Chilling at the Shire. Chilling at the Shire. I loved how they made them look so small.
Yeah, the perspective stuff is really cool.
But how'd they do it? Like they look normal until they're standing next to another person. I'm like, oh, they're little babies.
The short answer is I don't know. The
Nice.
long answer is like I think when you're not seeing them head on, it's like body doubles, which
Yeah.
like must have been a nightmare to just like switch in and out or something. Like I don't know. It's just like all these movies must have been a nightmare to make. I don't know why anybody would do it.
Why would anybody
Honestly.
subject themselves to this?
I don't know why every movie isn't just two people sitting in a room talking. I have no idea.
Mm. You're talking about Men Who Stare at Goats.
Am I?
You're thinking of Along Came Polly.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, do you have any other thoughts on this fucking stupid
Yeah.
movie?
Even though I got plenty. Um, even though I didn't see any of the other movies, I felt like I've absorbed a lot
Mhm.
just through pop culture. I feel like at the time this came out in particular, I feel like there was a lot of buzz and as a youth, I think I absorbed some of that. Like I feel like it was everywhere at a time. Was it not?
Yeah, these are like my dad's favorite movies.
Nerd.
Yeah, tell me about it. So they were always just like around, kind of like they were
Right.
always in the air. Um,
But I feel like even
but yeah, like references, like I don't know, like fucking like epic movie
commercials.
probably like references this shit. Or
Epic
like
movie probably
Meet the
references a
Spartans.
lot. Yeah. Like I bet you at one point, like they had Smeagol on Leno or something like that.
Yeah, probably.
Where Jay was like, "Oh, what are you doing today?" And Smeagol was like, "Ah, feel the hobbitses.
That's a
They're
really
the little tricksters."
you could fucking do a one-man Lord of the Rings show. Like, what do you?
I
You're
saw the
missing out on
movie.
so much money.
I need that cash. If anybody wants to pay me to do a cameo of Smeagol, I'll do it for $100,000. I just
So
need one.
much.
Right?
You know, his transformation in the beginning of the movie is so disgusting. Like the makeup is incredible and nasty. And then there's like the really subtle transition of like his makeup face into like
Yeah.
CGI face. Like his eyes kind of get like longer and
Why?
like kind of almond-eyed. What do you mean?
Why does he transform the way he does?
See,
Why
that's
are his
another question I
teeth
have
so
too.
strong? How is he has 4 teeth, but he can bite Frodo's finger off?
Yeah.
Why? How?
What do you mean?
He just bites into these fish and then like he just bites Frodo's ring off
Yeah, he has the most
like it's
important
nothing.
teeth.
But he has 4. And
That's all you
he's
need.
meek. And I thought he was I got a full disclosure, I did skip like 20 minutes of this movie.
Are you serious?
Yes, I'm pissed at you. I'm pissed. Because this movie's rated. What is this movie rated?
PG-13.
It should have been rated R
Why?
for really big spider. And you can't do that to me. You can't do that to me. I had to skip it. I had to skip the whole section. If you haven't seen this movie, there's a
Are you
whole
being
scene.
serious?
I swear to God. So I'm in the phase of adulthood where I'm like, I don't have arachnophobia anymore. That's not. I'm over
I
that.
still do. You shouldn't lie to yourself.
You
like
still
that.
do when you watched it. You're bullshit.
No, yeah. When I was watching it, I was like literally like when it was like crawling around.
I can't. I can't even like. I can't
then,
even
like, when
hear you say
Sam-
those words.
when Sam is like rolling on the ground and the pincer is like going in the dirt, I'm like,
I
this
don't
is
know. I haven't
disgusting.
seen it. I haven't watched this part. I skipped the whole thing.
It's a pretty long sequence too. It's
It's
probably like
too
8 or
long.
9 minutes. Yeah.
And then they come back to it, and I was like, no, 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 no. Well, because I was like, I thought we were done, and then it like comes out the cave, and I was like, no.
Yeah.
I just assumed Smeagol was dead. So then he just resurfaces. I was like, I guess he got.
Yeah.
But then he comes back, and I was like, oh. Does he like supposedly get got in that scene?
Yeah, he falls and Frodo's like, we have to destroy the ring. And then that pisses off Gollum A and B. And he comes for Frodo again.
Mm.
He like dives for him. Frodo just like kind of like whatever. And then like he like falls, kind of flips him over. And he just like falls down a cavernous kind of hole thing. Yeah.
Spoiler alerts, by the way, I guess.
Yeah. Obviously.
I mean, I don't know.
Sure.
It's old.
So the best picture nominees that year were this
2004.
Master and Commander, The Far Side of the World, starring none other than Russell
Brand.
Russell Crowe, which I hear is a great movie directed by Edward Zwick. Haven't seen it. Mystic River, directed by Clint Eastwood, which is
Mr.
fine.
Crowley?
Seabiscuit, I think
No.
was directed by no shit. I think it was directed by Gary Ross. I think that's
The
right.
Racing Stripes prequel.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Lost in Translation, directed by Sofia Coppola, which is a great movie. Haven't seen it in a long time, though. I feel like it might be racist.
That's
anyway,
where Bill Murray does the whisper.
Yeah, to ScarJo's ear.
Gotcha. I've seen no movies, but I've seen a lot of. I used to watch a lot of Watch Mojo top tens, so I've spoiled a lot of movies for myself.
Watch Mojo's top tens are like
don't.
Yeah, you're right. Don't.
Were you gonna say the best?
No,
They are. I got
gonna
entertained
say-
by them as a 14-year-old.
I mean,
for sure.
same.
Yeah, I watched one where it was the top 10 top 10 spoilers, and I was like, gotta watch this. It was like top 10 plot twists or something. I was like, I don't care.
You're kind of notorious for watching the season finales, the series finales of very famous TV shows.
Don't do this to me right
And
now.
that's it. You watched Breaking Bad, right? You watched the series finale of Breaking Bad.
Well, you can just say I watched Breaking Bad and just full stop, okay? You
I
can
don't
just do
think
that,
so.
okay?
I think watching an hour of TV doesn't really.
And
And
it didn't hold up in my eyes. So,
so people are like, "Hey, oh, you've seen Breaking Bad? Should I watch it?" You were confident in being like, "Oh yeah, I'm obviously an expert on the subject." No, it's bad.
I mean, by no means an expert. I'm not saying it's bad per se, but it just didn't make just judging from the last episode alone, it just didn't make sense. There was no plot. I was like, who is this man? What are his motivations? Why is he doing these things? You know what I mean? I was lost. Lost. Great show. Didn't need to follow it at all. Made no sense. Love that show.
Have you seen all of Lost?
Yes.
You would have. That tracks.
Don't know why. Didn't make sense. Totally fine with it.
Totally fine with it.
Next question, Your Honor.
um
Who else? That was it. There was only 5 movies nominated for Best Picture.
yeah, so it was before, I think, post Dark Knight. So the 2010 2010 Academy Awards is when they brought in the 10 Best Picture nominees, because people were pissed that for some reason, not for some reason, people were pissed that snubbed in 2000 at the 2009 Oscars for Best Picture. So they like expanded it. All the other categories are still limited to 5, but Best Picture is 10. And honestly, this top 5, not great.
Kind of bananas that they gave the Oscar to a trequel, though, right? Isn't that kind of like that's kind of a cowboy move?
It is. I think Lord of the Rings, I think as they were coming out, though, it was just like this. They were incredibly well respected. Weirdly, because you'd think they wouldn't be, because it's like, because they say the words Nazgul and the Witch King of like Boromir. Like, you think the Oscars would be like, what are you talking about? But I mean,
it's set a good precedent, right? Because now, maybe you have something like,
I mean, Avatar was nominated for Best Picture, right?
Perks of Being
like
a Wallflower.
Kind of crazy. That's a totally normal movie.
Not the way I watched it.
What?
Not the way I watched it. And I'll leave it at that.
Fellowship is the best one. They should have given the Oscar to
That's
that.
second. That's the second one.
The first.
There's none after this, right? This is the last.
Yeah. I mean, technically, there's 3 Hobbit movies, which is a prequel, which is the Bilbo story.
Yeah.
But
Bilby. Fuck, marry, kill.
No.
Smeagol.
No.
Gollum. Nazgul.
Nazgul is probably a goddamn freak in the sheets.
The scream is horrid.
Yeah, that's all right. I kind of like, Scream.
Yeah, go ahead. So you'd fuck Nazgul.
Yeah, I'd kill Gollum.
Oh, really?
God, marry Smeagol. No, but could you imagine being married to Gollum? Jesus Christ.
Listen, you get that ring, though. It's a pretty sweet ring to have.
But he'd let me wear it never days. Imagine my and Gollum's kids. Imagine what the fuck those things would look like.
God, they'd be so hot.
Yeah, because they got burned up in the fires of Mount Doom.
Damn.
Do you think this movie? I mean, we haven't seen. I mean, you haven't seen any of the Best Picture winners.
No,
I've seen.
I told you up front. I've
seen 2 of them. I've seen 2 of the others, but I don't remember Mystic River and Lost in Translation. I like, but no. I don't know how it holds up.
Do I think this deserved to win Best Picture?
Yes, that's
if I was an Academy. If I was the Academy.
Yeah, and you are.
Yeah. To be fair. Sure. What else came out that year? Batman Begins?
Nope, that's the next year.
Oh, then no. In that case, if Batman Begins is not in, then it's a slam dunk for this. It's too easy.
Sean Penn won for best actor because he probably punched somebody to get it.
In
That's
this
alleged.
movie?
That's allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He's in this movie.
No. Sean Penn.
Oh, this is this year. I was like,
Yes, sorry.
okay. I was like, who?
Sean Penn won for Mystic River. He won best actor. Tim Robbins won for Mystic River in best actor in a supporting role.
What is this movie?
Yeah, it's Charlize Theron won for best
Mr.
actress.
Quiver, bring me a quiv.
Bum, 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 bum. Damn, there was no nominees for best actor or best supporting actor.
I mean, no one was that good, right?
I mean,
Who? No, go ahead.
Ian McKellen, Gandalf. I would
He's
nominate
in it
him.
for like 5 seconds.
Well, that's what I'm curious
He
if he
says
was nominated for either of the other two. I would nominate him for the first one.
he says go back to the Citadel, and that's his only go back to the Citadel, and then that's it. He's out of the movie.
I want you off this show.
Go back
I
to
would
the Citadel!
nominate Peregrine Took.
Get out of my studio.
Because he goes. First of all, fuck you, okay?
They called us out to fight.
My studio, and I nominate Peregrine Took.
Okay.
Because he says they
Okay, Jagov.
for the award-winning
Ian-
line.
Ian McKellen, the man you are lambasting and will be served papers for,
Bring him.
he was nominated for Best Actor in a Supporting Role for the 2001 film The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring.
Not even this one.
Yeah, because he's barely in it, like you said.
Oh, it's all right. It's all right then. This whole premise, I'm correct.
They gave the award to the third movie. Why couldn't they give it to his third performance in the fucking?
Because he's not in it. He's in it for 15 minutes.
I am gonna. Next time I see you, your ass is French toast. Next time I see you,
Oscar for that. Oscar for that. Out the gate. Out the gate, you get an Oscar for Great line, great movie. Yeah, I'd give it an Oscar. I don't know what else came out that year. Who'd they compete against? Fucking
I just told you. I told you like a million times.
when did Along Came Polly come out?
This year.
This is the same year that It's Along Came Polly. No question. No question. This movie is not better than Along Came. This was a good movie. Look, I liked this movie. This movie was actually better than Along Came Polly.
Along Came Polly is 2004, so technically it would qualify for the 2005 Academy Awards.
Okay.
We're talking 2004 Academy Awards.
Okay. You want to hear what some of the people had to say?
Give me 1 second.
Okay.
Peter Jackson also won Best Director for this movie.
Why?
I mean, I did kind of roast his ass in the beginning of this episode about how like he's mostly just sitting in a chair and hundreds of other people are doing all the actual work, but
I'm sitting in a chair right now. No Oscars for me.
his name
Yet.
comes after, the movie fades to black. It says The End, directed by
Yep.
Peter Jackson.
Sure.
So he gets the Oscar for that. What
Just
did the
for his
fucking
name?
people say? What did the fuck? Yeah, for his name. What did the fucking people say?
I printed out some reviews. I sourced some reviews from people online. The
actually
truth.
printed them out.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So Peter Jackson, cool guy, right? Yeah. Oscar-winning director. Sure.
Yeah, sure.
Peter Jackson sets record for most failures in a single lifetime. How about that?
That is insane.
1 star. If Peter Jackson really hates Tolkien's work so much, he should just leave it alone. I don't know how one man could get so much so wrong. One must have a desire to see Tolkien's work eviscerated or a lobotomy to sit through these films. What do you say about that?
I think people should chill the fuck. I'm not Peter Jackson, but I think he's not
eviscerated.
listening. I think people should chill the fuck out.
This one's from Martin Scorsese.
No, it's not. There's no way.
You know it's-
allegedly. Don't say that.
This one's from Marty. He says, 1 star. You know it's a kid's movie when you can get a free doll resembling the characters in a Happy Meal. I mean, think about it. Ever see a Schindler's List Happy Meal? Is there a cereal called Sophie's Choice Crunchies? Did a trick-or-treater ever come to your door on Halloween in a Citizen Kane costume? Yeah, this is an adult picture.
My kid would.
Sure. Dealing with adult themes like fairies, nymphs, dragons, and pixies, I think I saw Tinkerbell and some Smurfs in there too. So
Is that a real review?
yeah, that's from Martin.
I mean, I know it's not. That's an actual review, though.
Yes.
That's insane. They're like, why aren't there's no Holocaust toys at McDonald's? So
And
obviously
they're
this movie
right.
shouldn't be taken seriously.
And that's correct. Do you see any Holocaust toys at McDonald's?
no,
Didn't
rightfully
think
so.
so. Didn't think
Rightful-
so. So
I
your
don't think
case
we
is
should.
invalid.
Okay.
The last one I'll read. This one's from you, actually. 1 star. Really.
It's not.
It was okay. The dude from Rudy was okay, but if he had the ring, we wouldn't need 3 movies to melt the ring in a volcano. Fair point. Would have been more interesting if Captain Jack Sparrow made an appearance. I guess the girl from the Aerosmith videos was cool. Been better if she was naked a bit, but I guess it was okay because it was PG. Dumbledore sucked. Merry and Pippin? I should have rented Mary Poppins. Next time I'll rent The Hobbit to waste time. And then in all caps, he says, I love this movie. I love this movie.
Is that a real review or did you write that?
I swear to God.
Somebody said, I wish this
You
movie
said
had
it.
Okay. If your criticism of a movie is I wish a different character from a different movie was in it, your review is null.
It's called fan fiction.
The
And it
movie's
is
not fan
valid.
fiction. It's an
It's
adaptation.
valid. For balance's sake, I did find some 5-star reviews. 5 stars, Friendship. Third time I've seen this trilogy, and every time Friendship wins. So one person found that helpful.
Would you say friendship won in this episode of this podcast that we're doing right now?
Barely.
Barely.
I would say it's a draw between friendship and enemy ship.
Enemy ship?
Yeah.
Enemy ship, dead ahead.
Yeah. Anything else you want to get off your mind, or
I think this is the first and last episode.
rightfully so?
My ranking of the Lord of the Rings movies
Go ahead.
is in number order. So it goes 1, 2, 3.
Okay, but start with 2.
What?
Do your ranking. Wherever you do it.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3.
We'll start with 2.
What the hell are you talking
So
about?
2 is 1.
No, 1 is 1. 2 is 2. 3 is
No,
3.
1 is supposed to be 2, so 2 is 1.
So it goes 2, 3, 4.
This is taking too long. What's your ranking?
It's 1, 2, 3, bro.
First of all, basic. Right? Wait, 3 is the best? No, I'm actually serious. 3 is your favorite?
No, so it's
Where do you
first-
put 2?
is this like a fucking
No,
Abbott
it's not.
a Costello fucking bit? What are you
This
doing?
is not a bit. I literally do not understand your ranking. Which one is the best movie?
Fellowship of the Ring, the first movie.
Which one is that?
The first one.
Okay, so 1 is the best.
Yes.
Where's 2?
2 is 2.
It's fucking stupid.
This
Okay.
sucks.
So this one that we watched was the worst one. This is
My
the
least
worst
favorite.
Lord.
I still gave it 4 stars. I still think it's like a really good movie. I think it's a little too long. I think the characters kind of get lost in
3.5 hours.
I think the characters get all a little bit lost in like all the battling. I'm gonna keep a ranking. I'm gonna update it every week.
Okay.
and by the end, I'm gonna be like, what are my top 5 best picture winners?
That's smart. That's good.
I think this movie, I guess, deserved to win best picture. I gave it 4 stars on Letterboxd.
Follow us on Letterboxd.
Oh yeah, follow Andrew on Letterboxd.
No, don't just throw me out there.
Some of the craziest
No,
reviews I've read.
no.
on there.
You can follow me on Letterboxd at Ander Hates Films. Is there an at? I don't think there's an at. Just Ander Hates Films on Letterboxd. I got a list on there about the hottest Brad Pitts of all time, so there you can check that out. You can follow Mike Mike O'Bry. Mike O'Baby.
Mike O'Bry.
Mike O'Bry.
Obry.
You like this movie?
Yeah, I think it's great. It won best picture, and I don't know. I guess it probably deserved to.
They're probably winning the second one.
Who are we to say?
Just some Oscar Wieners. Play my song.
See you next week, folks.
They called us out to fight.
1, 2, 3, 4. These boys only want the best stuff. They want the cream of the crop. They don't want none of that Michael Bay shit. They want the shit that bops. Oscar bait, black and white. Maybe something French. If it's got more than one explosion, honey, put that shit on the bench. Oscar Wieners. Oscar Wieners. Oscar Wieners. These boys are the Oscar Wieners. Oscar Wieners.
Nice. Hot.
That was good. That was hot.
It was hot.